It's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's sourdough. Hey, it's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's also a show.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Breaking Bread with Tom Papa. I am Tom Papa. Here we are in a rainy Los Angeles. I know the rest of the country is like, why do you guys keep talking about the rain? Well, it's a big deal. It was on the cover of the New York Times. People are talking about how it's historic, and also we're babies. We're not supposed to be in rain, so we talk about it all the time. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. We've got a great interview today. We're going to spend some time here at the table with Andrew Santino, very funny comedian who's got a very funny Netflix special called Cheeseburger. How do you not have someone that names their special Cheeseburger? How do you not have them on this podcast? A great guy. You're gonna love this conversation, and he's gonna be very happy because he's getting breads, which I have to say have been coming out exceptionally well. So good. I don't know if you saw me on Colbert, but he asked me about bread because he loves bread, and he's started doing it, and so we're actually spending this time in the middle of doing this appearance talking about my Netflix special, talking about bread, and I mentioned, he said, like, what are you making now? And I mentioned jalapeno and cheddar bread that I was just, and the whole audience just went, oh. Oh, so perfect, so great. How we're not making this into a bread empire, I don't know. I'd like to thank the good people at Diet Smoke for sponsoring today's show. Diet Smoke makes federally legal premium THC products. That's right, delivered right to your door. Diet Smoke's variety guarantees there is a THC product for everybody. They've got blends with melatonin for sleep or with caffeine for when you're on the move. And for Breaking Bread listeners, you shop now at dietsmoke.com. Use the code PAPA and check out for 20% off your entire first order. That's dietsmoke.com, code PAPA, P-A-P-A, at checkout for 20% off if you want to feel good and enjoy yourself. I have been, like I said, baking my wife got COVID during the holidays, so there were a lot of people that we couldn't go see, and I was ready to go deliver all these breads to people, and we didn't get to go do it. So I'm kind of making up for it now and have just been cranking out breads. And also, I've been home. That's the biggest key. I'm going to start my tour up next week. I'm going to South Carolina, and then we have a bunch of shows coming up all around the country, and I'm going back to it. So I've been home for a good, from the holidays through now, which has been a delightful thing. And now we've got playoff football. We've got a lot of stuff. So it's been nice just to be home, slowing it down and baking like crazy. And now that I'm going back out on tour, it's not going to happen with as much frequency. So everybody in my life has been benefiting from this month of going crazy with the baking. What I'm going to try and do, and I only can say this to you, dear listeners, because you care. I've never made pumpernickel bread before, and I pulled out a couple recipes to make pumpernickel bread. Something maybe because it's cold and it has been rainy and it is winter. I've just been thinking of those darker, German breads, something about it. And I know I'll probably not pull it off right away, and that's okay. It'll be fine. One thing I did pull off are these biscuits. I've been going a little biscuit crazy. And, ooh, man, if you're out there and you're, you noodle around and you think, we talk about all the stuff on this podcast in addition to comedy, and you're thinking, the bread thing sounds good, but it also sounds like a pain in the ass. Yeah, you're right. It takes a lot. what I would recommend, I wanted to do this for like the piano. I did it for like guitar. Like, just get one song. Just get one song you can play. Just get one thing you can bake. Biscuits. Just get biscuits. And you nail a good biscuit recipe. They're not difficult. You make everybody happy. And that'd be your go-to. You do yourself well. I wonder if you can hear the rain. It is pouring down on our studio right now. This is very exciting. All right. I'd like to get right to the interview. This is a great time with Andrew Santino. He's such a good guy. You've been seeing him in a lot of stuff. He's been appearing in a lot of movies, a lot of TV. But most importantly, you've got to go check out his special. It's called Cheeseburger on Netflix. Now enjoy the great Andrew Santino. Thanks for doing this. This is
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, baby.
This is so great, and it's a rainy
Saturday
morning. Mm-hmm. How badly did you want to cancel?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No, the rain.
I did.
I actually love. Thanks, Tom. I love the rain.
I do too.
I really love the rain.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a cup of coffee with you in the rain. That's like my favorite thing. But
God, I blew
here at
it.
ATC, it's not you. Here at ATC,
Yeah.
Bill Burr says, "No one gets coffee,
Dude.
You're not gonna get coffee, bro. Just go there. Just get water like an adult. Hydrate.
That's an awesome
Hydrate.
impression. That is really good.
But coffee in the rain. And when I used to
so
smoke,
good. Oh, I know.
Smoking
I've
coffee in
never
the rain?
smoked, and I fantasize about coffee and smoking.
It honestly, in bad weather, coffee and smoking is
Yeah.
like, wow, one of my favorite things.
It's so good.
It's almost like these devils learned how to dance really well together, and you're like, oh my God, I want to do it so bad.
I want to do it
It's
so bad.
So
I
bad.
literally picture myself like smoking with. I've never smoked in my life.
Cigars?
Cigars, yes.
Okay.
Weed, yes.
Yeah.
But I've never like
Cigarettes.
sat with a cigarette, and it just.
Yeah.
I still like.
They're so bad for you.
So bad.
Yeah, like,
I
once you
said to
learn-
my friend, I said, I like in that Kevin Spacey when he was the president, the Netflix thing.
Yeah.
When at the end of each episode, him and his wife would sit by the window, and they'd open this little wooden box and take out one cigarette
Yeah.
and just smoke that one cigarette. And I was like, that looks cool. That's what I want to do. And my buddy was like, yeah, if only cigarettes work that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know
You're
what
not-
single cigarettes leads to? Assault allegations. So that's what happened to him.
Right.
That's where that was. It's a tumbling effect. It starts with a cigarette by the window. It ends with something tragic in a bar.
This
So-
is kind of an odd question, but I was daydreaming about it when I was on my way here in the rain in this early Saturday morning. How do you wake up? When you wake up every day, give me your head when you wake up.
The first thing I think of is I hear my wife's voice echo in my brain because she's asleep always. I wake up before her always. I hear her say, "Don't get on social media," because it's a habit, a bad habit. Like I walk to the toilet, go to the bathroom, and I'm just thumbing away for no reason.
Immediately.
Yeah, that was my immediate. So now I am not picking up the phone. So literally, the moment I wake up,
Yeah.
I see the dog and her, and they're both passed out, and I think, don't touch the phone, because my instinct
Right.
is grab the phone.
Grab the phone.
So now I'll go make coffee, go to the bathroom. Sometimes I'll sit on the iPad and just load news, and my iPad's not connected to my social.
Right.
On purpose because I was like a fiend.
Yeah.
So that's my first thing is I wake up and I'm fist fighting my hands to grab the phone.
Okay, I want to come back to that for a second. But when you wake up, are you a happy head? Are you what do I got to do today? Are you like I'm up again?
It depends on how I went to bed.
Yeah.
Like if I went to bed knowing I have a lot to do the next day, really bad mood.
Right.
But if I know like I have to sit with you, hang out, and then this afternoon I've got a fun thing I'm going to do, and this morning was easy, great.
Then
feel great.
Then you're like, okay,
if the day is doomed,
Yeah.
my negative energy, I'm projecting already it's going to be bad. It's too much to juggle.
too much, right?
Too much.
Yeah, I get the same exact thing.
Too much.
And I literally was thinking that. I was like today I woke up the same way. I was like, so easy.
Easy day.
So like nice. And it was like, we're going to get to do this. And, but some days I wake up and I'm just like, what's going on? And I think it's because it's a vague feeling of all the shit you got to do.
Yeah, the list.
The list.
Do you
Yeah.
like do you try to consciously get in a good mood before you go to bed? Are you one of those people? Like do you do a routine before you go to bed? Like some people stretch and all that?
No.
Nothing?
No. What I'm trying to do is the opposite of what you're doing with the social media and the stuff in the morning. I am trying to disconnect from the screen before I go to bed. Because it's not even checking. Instagram has me hooked where for some reason I'm hitting it. I don't even know what I'm looking for, why I'm doing it. I just keep hitting that app.
Yeah.
But I don't want that. I also don't want news. I don't want news right before I go to sleep. So I'm trying to, I don't have like a thing of like an hour 15 before, but try not to do that and try and read a little before. Like all week I was rereading Bob Dylan's book.
Oh.
And it's so good. And he's you don't have to concentrate that much. It just kind of settles your head into this reading head.
And you get to sleep faster?
Get to sleep faster.
I buy books a lot.
Yeah.
And I used to read all the time on planes.
Uh-huh.
And now I buy a book. It goes in my office until I buy another book. And then I stack books. I have literally 12 books to read.
That you haven't?
Never will read them. I'll
Why?
just keep
What
buying
happened?
them. I just get either too busy.
Yeah.
Or the time I want to take to read a book,
Mm-hmm.
I'm exhausted. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to move my eyes in a linear fashion. I just want to stare into nothingness.
You kind of have to retrain yourself to read.
It's
like
so
I
hard.
took a break during the holidays, which is when I thought I was going to read, but I was so exhausted at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like you go to read again, it's like your brain can't even do it yet. It's
like,
still
what are
like
we
thinking
doing?
like diddly. And
We still go to this bar?
Yeah, right.
I thought we wrote this off years ago.
I thought this place closed.
Yeah, didn't this guy, I thought this burned down or got bought out. That's how it feels. That's always how it feels when I start reading. I'm just like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like starting up the gym again. I took a break from going to the gym.
Yeah.
Because I was so busy. I was like, I'm not going to exert myself and then also go to the gym and try to squeeze it in and then be even more tired and agitated.
Yeah.
And now I'm back in the rhythm.
Uh-huh.
And man, the first couple of times are like, it's
So
unnerving. I hate it so much.
You feel like a broken robot.
Yeah.
I always feel like lumbering and nothing works,
Yeah.
right?
And all the other robots are staring at you and you just want to kill everybody. I hate it so much. I hate it. I hate it. And
I don't
also,
like the gym.
Well, no, I don't believe the only people that like the gym
Yeah.
have made it their lifestyle.
Yeah.
If it's your lifestyle, I get those guys that
Yeah.
are like, dude, wake up, protein shake, grind, this, that. But for normal adults,
People that are craving cigarettes and coffee.
I don't want to go to the gym. I want to smoke. I want to smoke out front of my house and drink coffee and just watch the rain come down. Wave to my neighbor.
I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's like, I'll always go on Instagram. I'll always go to the gym. It's just part of my life, and I love to go. It just feels so good, and I get the pump, and
Good
I
for
feel
you.
good. And I'm like, yeah, Mr. Olympia likes the gym.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
The comedian. Okay, go back to the social media though. Mm-hmm. Why did your wife say that to you?
Because I every morning would sit on it, and I still do. I've relapsed a few times where I'll just go right back to it.
With a negative result?
No, you know what? She just was like, that's just not a healthy way to start your day,
Yeah.
ingesting socials. Because I completely agree. I don't like it. But because she sleeps more soundly than I, and her brain is not like insane.
Yeah.
I wake up pretty early, and if I don't go to the gym in the morning, if I just don't get out of
What
bed.
time you up?
Like, well, some days is 6:45.
Yeah.
But like 7:30 is kind of like pretty
sweet spot.
rhythmic. Yeah. But she'll sleep for another half to 45 after that. So she knows I'm sitting there,
Right.
not getting out of bed, just thumbing like a loser.
Immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to consciously get away from it, but it's so
Why do you
hard.
think it's bad?
It's like anything else. I think you know what I equate it to? Too much, even if it's all like positive comments. It's not that. It's more like I'm eating way more than I need. I don't need to. That can come later in the day.
Yeah.
Let the body adjust. I can let my brain settle.
Let your brain do other things.
Yeah, instead of rushing into imagery and sounds and videos and noise and constantly. It's almost like I'm a breakfast guy. It's the only meal I care about.
Yeah.
Lunch can sometimes.
Right, I'm the same way.
Like a breakfast to me, and a good dinner, but breakfast is like, if you said gun to head one meal,
Yeah.
breakfast.
I baked you bread this morning.
You son of a gun.
You can feel underneath it's still warm.
Wow. Can I have some?
if you want.
Has anybody had some on the show?
Once in a while. It's tough to tear.
Well, I'm not going to tear it here at the show, but can I see it?
Yeah, of
but
course.
This in the morning with a cigarette and coffee on my porch?
I'm telling you, you just toast that with butter.
Is this sourdough?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That is a wheat, all-purpose,
I'm out of here. It's good to see it.
and rye.
Wheat,
It has a
all-purpose
little
rye.
bit of rye in it too.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
I just brought it up now because I'm the same way with breakfast.
Breakfast.
And I literally this morning was thinking, what happened to the gentleman's breakfast? Have you ever done that?
What is that?
It's my most favorite thing, and it repels most everybody.
Okay.
You take butter the night before, soft butter, leave it out.
I have to.
And you chop up garlic and anchovies, mix it into the butter,
Yes.
put it back into the refrigerator. Next morning, take it out, slice, toast, slather it with that.
What's wrong with this?
I mean, it's heaven on earth. Well, what's wrong with it is if you have to see anybody during the day.
We're comics. We don't have to work till the night. It'll wear off by 6, 7 p.m.
Yeah, it is
The best.
And also the complete is then like some scrambled eggs next to it. But that anchovy garlic
I'm gonna try it
on that bread.
Watch me try it, and I'm going to report back to you.
Oh,
Because my
makes me
breakfast
very
is, I reached out. Actually, Heinz sent me a crate of baked beans because I said how much I love English breakfast. I love baked beans on toast with eggs.
Yeah.
And Heinz heard about it on a pod that we did.
That's great.
And they were like, because I was like, you can't get them everywhere in the States. Like,
No, I
a lot of
know.
times that version of baked beans we don't have.
Right.
And baked beans on delicious buttered toast like this, oozing off the side with a scrambled egg. I mean, with an over easy egg is like.
Oh, with some
Come
coffee.
on.
How do you
Oh.
do your coffee at home?
I am a little bit of a coffee snob.
Love it.
Well, I used to have a really fancy espresso machine.
Yeah,
I don't do that as much anymore.
it's a thing.
It's just I got tired of it, and I was like,
Yeah.
if I want that, I'll go get it from a nice coffee shop.
Yeah,
But grind the beans at the house.
Yeah.
Got to be house ground.
yeah. Do you have a favorite right now? Or are you pretty?
I jump every single week. Like for a while I was doing like, like I'll try whatever new hot brand on this coffee thing that we got was like, it's fair trade sourced coffee from da 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 da.
Yeah.
So I've tried all of that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes if I'm pinching, I'll do like Intelligentsia and stuff like that. But I don't have a loyalty to a brand. I just really, really like to grind it.
Yeah.
Make it at home. And somebody bought us like a ridiculously expensive. It's absurd. Where the temperature is exactly the perfect heat that beans are supposed to be pushed at.
The kettle, the
No. The physical brewer is like a balanced heat. It balances the water to a perfect degree, and then it will brew. It is.
I don't know that.
Oh, it's disgusting. I'll send it to you. It's repulsive. It's expensive. It's like there's gold in there. I'm like, who needs this?
I go pour over. So I have.
I like the pour over.
I have
We
the
have one of
kettle,
those.
which you can get the temperature, and then I just put because I'm the only coffee drinker. Well, my daughter does, but she just does the Nespresso. She's not interested.
Shame.
Yeah, well, she's young.
I know.
She'll figure
learn.
it out.
She'll learn.
Yeah.
You'll learn. You'll learn.
Wait, she has other things that bring her joy in her life.
That is such a fact. She's like, I have so much fun things to do today. You're like, I'm focused on this coffee maker right now.
It all downhill
This
after
will
this.
make me feel so good for 26 minutes.
And the rest of my
And then I'll
day
be livid.
is just. So I do, with the cone.
Yeah.
And no paper filter. It's like metal, so it just goes right in. That does.
We have one of those. I like that too. This machine it's wondrous, and the plate below keeps it at a certain temperature as well.
Ooh, that's nice, because that is the thing when you want to like re-up you
don't want to do
pour
that.
over twice.
Well, because regular old school like Mr. Coffee Mates or whatever.
Yeah.
It would heat it until it burned it.
Right.
It was almost they just cranked it on. It was like, it's going to burn in an hour, so drink it.
I was talking about this with my mother a little while ago, and she said, your friends don't like have coffee at night? Like, there was such a thing. Like,
I know.
we're going to put a pot on. You guys want coffee? Like at 8 o'clock at night.
Loved it. That's where I learned to fall in love with it. Like, my grandparents would always do it.
Yeah.
And I come from
Percolator.
Chicago inside smokers. So in the winter, they would smoke and drink coffee. At night, I find it so beautiful. I don't know why.
Man.
There's something like so sad and sweet about cigarettes and coffee at night.
It's reflective. There's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you're a comedian. You have that head. It's like, it's reflective. It's thoughtful. It's communal.
It's communal. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not on our phones. We're talking.
Right.
See, that's what it is. I think those things were so that if you had guests over, or every family gathering, it would wind the night down by having a cup of coffee before you drive home. I mean, the Irish would do it because we needed to sober up a little bit.
How are you?
After we had a few of these, it was like, have some coffee before you hit the road.
How are you with sleeping? How late in the day can you have coffee?
Honestly, I don't restrict myself. So, like, if I really want one, I'll have one.
You will.
And like at dinner, when we go out to a nice dinner, I'll absolutely have a coffee after dessert.
You will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's becoming a problem for me.
Really? Because you can't go to bed.
It's hard. Like I'm tossing like late.
I think my body, I was already at some days is running on fumes.
Yeah.
So the coffee is almost, it like my body's like, nice try.
I saw Laird Hamilton, and I think about this all the time. I just a comment on social media, and he said, "You're having trouble falling asleep? How hard you work today?"
Yeah, that's yeah.
It's like, do more shit.
Do more shit.
Wipe
You'll get
yourself
tired.
out like you should be a baby being put into the crib, like spent, and then you'll sleep fine.
It's like getting to the point when you drink sometimes, if you're having some drinks, and you can't leave the couch. You're like, I could just fall over here. That feeling of like, if I just lay this way, I could just go to bed here right now.
Yeah.
Which my wife hates when she's like, please don't sleep on the couch. I'm like, it is so comfortable.
It is so good.
My dad sleeps on the couch all the time.
All the time?
He loves it because my mom goes to bed really early.
Right.
And my dad loves late night TV and late night reading. And he just sits on his little nook of a couch.
Yeah, it's great.
And he sleeps there a lot.
You said in your special, congratulations on the special.
Thank you so much.
It's so great.
Thank you. Please go watch it.
It's on Netflix.
Yep.
Called Cheeseburger. So great.
Thank you.
You have so much funny stuff in it. But just as a throwaway, which wasn't even a joke really, it was part of a bigger thing. When you talk about your dad going through a bunch of
health stuff.
No, women.
Yeah,
going through a whole bunch of women, and like he couldn't figure it out. Like we were talking about guys trying to figure out women and all that. Did he? Did they split when you were young?
My parents split up when I was just under 1.
Just under 1.
Yeah, just before I hit 1, they couldn't make it.
Right. That was a rough year.
It was tough. But my dad had a bunch of trouble, and I've spoken about it, and I'm kind of doing stuff about it right now. But my dad had he had trouble with addiction, and then went to the old clinker. Was in prison for a good amount of time when I was a kid.
Oh wow.
And then my stepfather, who raised me, really that's who I'm talking about when I say that. But my biological dad, when I spoke about him, he really has had a roller coaster of love lives,
right? Where
women have come and gone, both in the literal sense, they're not with us anymore, and also he never could get somebody that could like figure him out,
right? And no one's telling him, don't wake up that way.
Nah, he always wanted to do his own thing, and now he's. I think he still dates people. Like he still gets a girlfriend or a friend once in a while. At that age, they just call them friends.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Let's not complicate
It's my friend. Yeah. And you're like, oh, right, he's seeing this girl a lot, but they're friends.
So he was in your life the whole time?
No. When I was a kid, he wasn't around at all. My mom and then met my stepdad and then had my sister, and then we moved from the city to the suburbs. So when that happened, my life changed. But he wasn't really around at all. I mean, he would pop in and out when he could, but we slowly got pulled apart because of life.
Right.
And then I talk about that too. I say I became my own man. He's his man.
Right.
And you have to kind of settle into this as an adult that you're like, I'm just my own man now.
Was it a puzzle you had to figure out your whole life?
Yeah.
Or were you stable with your...
I was quite stable over there. I didn't have any resentment or anything like that. I think that a therapist is probably like, yes, you do. But I just saw it as like, well, that's his version of life, and this is our version of life.
Yeah.
And I would dip my toes over there and go see that side of the family.
At what age?
I think I started to kind of really like in my teens, 13, 14, I would see him.
Go check it out.
Yeah, or he'd pick me up. When I was a kid, I used to go on runs with him because he is a contractor in the south side and the west side of Chicago.
Yeah.
And I would go with him to see jobs, to
cool.
go on work runs, which, it was kind of wild. My dad is a fascinating character.
Yeah.
Man, he loved working in neighborhoods with working class people.
Mm-hmm.
So he would go to the south side and the west side, predominantly black neighborhoods, and they really liked him and trusted him because I think my dad was really good with people, didn't come from anything.
Yeah.
Kind of always struggled and was always blue collar, our whole family.
Mm-hmm.
So he understood how to speak to that socioeconomic culture. And
right.
they loved him.
It was just natural. It was him.
He could never do, a rich guy he could talk to, but they wouldn't click.
Right.
He's not that guy.
Right.
Yeah. He's too much. He's way too much.
He's way too much.
Way too much, man. Yeah. You got to have a blue collar joke ability to like laugh it off, where he's like, we go to a restaurant and immediately, he's like, what's your name? Katie. He's like, Katie, thank you, Katie. Wonderful, Katie. And he's like, he's a lot. He's a heavy presence.
Yeah.
In a good way. But I just had lunch with him.
It's interesting. Oh, that's cool. He's out here?
No, he's in Chicago. I was back home.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
That's an interesting little insight though, because you have a real cool way of talking about race.
Yeah.
You're really good at it.
Yeah,
you're really good at it.
Yeah.
There's it's like a natural. It makes sense that your father was kind of that way and in those things, and you were kind of exposed to that as a kid because you could either you see some people try and intellectually figure out race and talk about it, and comedians are for the most part progressive in that way, and but it's. A lot of people try and do it and miss. Yeah. Or it just doesn't feel like something. Yours is very kind of natural, and like you, as a viewer, I trust you when you talk about it.
Right. It doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. You're not like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, there's a real,
it's
realism
it's relieving
to it.
No, I appreciate it. I think a part of it too was growing up a little redheaded kid in Chicago.
Yeah.
And, this is like a tale as old as time, but like my defense mechanism was humor. Mm-hmm. It was violence a lot when I was a kid because I was an angry little boy, obviously because of a lost father.
Yeah.
So I fought a lot.
You did, yeah.
A lot
Were
when
you
I was
big?
a kid.
Were you the biggest? Or
no, I was always tall, but I would fight anybody.
Right.
I didn't care at all.
Yeah.
So I got kicked out of a preschool for punching a kid.
Right.
Which is not a good look, not a good start.
Let's take a break to talk about our new favorite sponsor, Diet Smoke. Diet Smoke makes federally legal premium THC products delivered discreetly right to your door. Diet Smoke's variety guarantees there's a THC product for everyone. They've got blends, melatonin for sleep. They've got blends with caffeine for when you're on the go, or if you're looking to elevate any vibe, Diet Smoke has the product for you. They come in these nice little containers, and they give you these nice little gummies, and you eat them, and enjoy your life. What a world. Most importantly, Diet Smoke is great for all levels of THC consumers, and this is important because sometimes you can't get that high, or you get too high. Sometimes you want to dial it back. Experienced users love the Delta 9 high for when they can't melt into their couch and still want to function. So they go with the Delta 9. And Us Weekly has just named Diet Smoke's Delta 8 gummies as the best for beginners. It's nice just to relax. You take it a little early. I like gobbling them up a little after dinner, not too late where it's going to make me groggy later on or affect if I do it too late, this is my own preference. If I do it too late and then you're just high a little bit and then you're just high during sleep, I kind of wake up groggy. But if I can do it where I can just kind of watch movie, kind of hang out, do some writing, whatever, and with a couple hours before bed at least, and then it kind of like wears off. It's not like you're getting hammered, and then go to sleep and then wake up refreshed. That's my sweet spot. For Breaking Bread listeners, shop now at dietsmoke.com. That's dietsmoke.com. Use the code PAPA, P-A-P-A, for 20% off your entire first order. That's dietsmoke.com, code PAPA, P-A-P-A, at checkout for 20% off. Thanks for coming along for the ride, Diet Smoke.
But once I learned that I could use a little bit of the intellect that was given to me from my mother. She's a very bright woman.
Yeah.
I learned I could really kind of disarm you by mocking you because you were being mean to me. So if I was meaner and funnier than you, you look stupid now because you made fun of me and I was this little redheaded kid. And so this sounds corny, but like in the city, a lot of these young black kids that I would go to school with kind of loved my bravado.
Right.
Like I had balls to stand up to people that picked on me. They used to call me Little Opie because Opie Taylor. Yeah. Many listeners are like, what is Opie Taylor? But no, but I think people respect you, particularly from where we were, like in that part of my life, because you stood up for yourself. It is kind of a very gritty, working class thing. It's like you stand up for yourself. You don't let people talk to you like that.
And the black community, to paint with a big general brush, smells bullshit.
Oh yeah, more than anybody.
Smells bullshit. Yeah. And if they can see you being truthful,
right, then
that's
know.
Above all.
Which is probably truthfully how my dad still to this day goes down there and goes on the south side and the west side, but because he's created so many relationships, but they know that his intentions are to like service a community because he feels like that's his world. Yeah. So he's like, I'm one of the community. Right. Even though he looks not.
I don't have to try. It's a natural level.
It's a cultural thing. Yeah. You understand the culture, the movement of the people.
It's so funny in your special when you talk about the story about the dog with the girl with Down syndrome. Yeah. It's so I don't want to give it away.
No.
I don't want to give it away because it's so funny and so really
and it's so true.
It's so true.
But it's also very true. Happened in real life, and it was a wild moment in my life where when it happened, I thought, I was so embarrassed. I was like you know how like as comics people are like, oh, you don't care, you stand up in front of thousands of people. You're like, but real life moments that embarrass you, I drown me worse than a normal person. Right. Because I feel like we feel it differently. You're like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed right now. So embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. But that bit led to kind of the great arc of the special because I people ask why it's called Cheeseburger, and then it's explained in it why I call it that. Yeah. It's because of an emotional moment I had, and it ties to a lot of my feelings about culture and comedy and the way we perceive stuff. Yeah. And that story is part of it. Like,
enjoy the cheeseburger.
Enjoy that cheeseburger, baby. I'm not gonna lie, I bit a little piece of that. Me saying I hope you enjoyed the cheeseburger from Warren Zevon. Oh yeah. When he did his last Letterman. Yeah. When Dave and him kind of announced that he wasn't doing well, maybe I don't even know how
he was dying.
Yeah, he was. I don't know how they addressed it on the show.
I think they knew beforehand.
Right.
And they pretty much knew this was his last.
And it was
appearance.
So emotional because Dave when Dave loved somebody, it was right though. When he loved someone, you were like, wow, dude, I feel it. Oh. And Warren said, enjoy every sandwich.
Oh man.
That was his like kind of Dave.
He said that at the end?
Yeah, he's like, if there's any piece of advice you have, David said, after all the stuff you're going through. And said, just
enjoy every sandwich.
So I am kind of, that's an homage a little bit to him.
That's great.
In a way. Because that hit me like a ton of bricks, man. It's
Keep
true.
Me in your heart for a while.
Keep me in your heart for a while.
I was cooking, I'm getting choked up talking about it, but I was just cooking for Christmas Eve. Yeah. And I do this big feast and all these people come over and I'm just in the kitchen alone and that song came on and I hadn't heard it in a while. I was just like sobbing over the cutting board, and I heard
turkey.
I heard my daughter coming upstairs. Gotta dust myself
Are you
off.
okay, Dad? I'm fine. Just go set the plates.
That is one of the most beautiful songs ever.
He was a magician. I think sometimes you get musicians that come and they sprinkle such wild magic on us.
God.
And you're like, whoa, dude, you're so creative.
Yeah.
You're so creative.
Yeah.
It's wild to me.
I know. It really is. It's like I don't know, they just tap into something. I mean, but like he was dying.
Yeah.
And he writes this song. It's just like, oh my God. Just a while too. He's not asking for much.
Keep me in your heart for
just
a while.
for a while. Oh.
It's a deep
God.
we're gonna cry here.
We're gonna start crying.
But it does. And I'm making a broad statement. I might be totally incorrect, but like many comics that I know have this weird connection to music. It hits them in a way because I feel like what we do is we're putting our stuff out there, and we feel the vulnerability that they must feel, even though they look cooler doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like most comics I know have such a deep obsession with music that everyone I meet has things where I go, oh, you love this stuff.
Yeah.
And you're obsessed with it.
Right.
And I'm the same way. I get like obsessive with stuff.
Right.
I cried. We went to go see, I'm going to say his name wrong because I'm stupid, but Ludovico Einaudi. He's a classical pianist.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw him at the Greek, and I cried the whole show. Like, my wife was like, are you okay, man? I mean, look, a couple of glasses of red wine did
loosen it up.
Yeah, but it was just beautiful. I just felt so deeply connected to it. And I had listened to him for years, and when I heard he was coming, she actually was like, I got us tickets to go see him.
Oh, my God. I don't even know him.
He's incredible. I mean, you have to look him up. I think you would love him. But he was just funny. He's this little tiny Italian man, and it's just a spotlight on the piano. He has backup musicians and performers that come and go into the light.
Right.
But at first, he comes out to the Greek, and he sits at the piano, doesn't look at the audience, plays like 2 to 3 beautiful songs.
Yeah.
Then he turns around, he gets up, and he goes, thank you for coming. I don't like to talk. And then he sat back down and played. It was like so perfect. I don't like to talk.
It's so great.
Thank you. I don't want to talk. It was amazing.
Amazing.
Man. I was like, good for this guy.
I listened to Oscar Peterson.
I don't know who that is.
In a obsessive way. He is one of the greatest jazz pianists.
Okay.
And I mean, he's insanely good, from Montreal, and he's got giant hands, and it's crazy. And I was listening to him, and then I not like when I write, I listen to him a lot.
You do? So you listen to music when you write?
Oh, with no words.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to a lot of people that do love music when they write. I cannot.
Yeah, I can do it only if there's no lyrics. If there's lyrics, I can't do it.
Right.
And there's this on iTunes, like best of, or this is Oscar Peterson, one of those things that it's almost embarrassing to say. It is embarrassing to say. I've been listening to that while writing for 7 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Why is that embarrassing? It's your music.
Because it's
Like
weird.
your music. Well, no, because
it's weird and repetitive.
I always find the things that I write that I love the most, not to jinx it, it almost happens in the exact same places. Like, I know exactly where I go to get some of my favorite stuff out. And I don't want to tip it away, but that's my...
What do you mean get your stuff out?
Sometimes I'm just putting stuff on paper. I will a lot of times just like vomit a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
Not funny or
just spit it out.
It's nonsense. But there's locations in the city that I go to.
Oh, physical locations.
Yes. And for some reason, it's like my internal clock goes, go there because there's some stuff is ready to spill over. Like,
I don't want to give it away or talk about it too much. But is one near your podcast studio?
Yes.
I used to go there religiously.
Yeah, it is.
Because when I had a young family and the house was just brimming with children, and the chaos of that, I couldn't find a place to go. But I couldn't go to like traditional play. I could not write in Starbucks because I believed everybody else there was pretend writing and I was really writing.
You're not doing the work. I'm doing the work.
But I found that spot.
Yes.
And would just give my notebook and just go in there.
That
and,
is one of my little quiet spots.
That's a magical spot.
Yeah.
That is a magical spot.
It's magic. I don't know. Maybe it's the history. Maybe it's maybe it's it's tremendously mediocre coffee.
There are those places like in the Village, like we both love New York.
Yes.
There are spots in New York that are that way, and they have been for. That's what's turning me on about rereading the Dylan thing.
Yeah.
He goes to all these same places that we kind of go to.
Yeah.
It's all in the West Village, and like they're there. They're still there.
Oh, it's so wild.
Yeah, they're still there.
And he would write at some of the places, or
no, he doesn't really. He doesn't really talk about that. Like when he started writing, he just started writing everywhere. But just that he was knocking in all those are creative places.
Yes.
The upstairs of the Comedy Cellar is one of those places.
Something's
Cafe
brewing.
Reggio is one of those places. You know.
There's something. It's kind of like I watched that Paul McCartney thing that's on. Maybe it's on Hulu right now with Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
And there was a point I rewound, and I do this. My wife hates this. I'll rewind 10 seconds of a clip or a scene, and I will do it hundreds of times. I mean, like very.
My Oscar Peterson doesn't seem.
No, yeah, it doesn't at all. Because I get obsessed with watching the thing, and he did something where. Dude, on the plane I was like,
did you see what he just said?
But he would pull down some of the levels on bass or on guitar or on whatever,
songs,
and all he left was like one plucked rhythm of bass. And Ruben was like, dude, that's like another song on another song. You could just pull this out. And Paul started going, and whatever he did, you literally were like, that is another song. Like it was like listening to him instantaneously just go, because I'm sure you watched the documentary, to watch him do that thing where he would go, and he just found it. When he did it there, like something, you feel it in your bones. You're like, oh my God.
It's so crazy.
To watch that magic happen. It's because the comfort of where they are in their home of a studio, it's where his vibration works the best.
It's so funny with music, when I'm always like, I have my stuff, and then I'm always, what else is there? What else is out there? You gotta, when you're older, you got to go find it, because your friends aren't just dropping it off at your doorstep. You got to go be like, what's cool now?
What's hip?
Yeah. But on the way here, Beatles came on. And I was literally really dadding out like, there's nothing better than this. Fuck you.
It is. It is
Your
the best.
Little Wayne and all
the best.
And I love all that stuff, but this is just hits in such a deeper.
Oh yeah.
What Paul McCartney did. Did you watch the one on Apple?
Yeah. I think I've seen
20 hours of that.
Everything that they put out. Yeah.
Watching them create Let It Be.
Nuts.
I mean, that was
gross.
It was gross.
It's gross.
It was gross.
If you feel as much as you, I'm talking to you directly, as hard as you work and what you've done in your career, you even have to, you look at those things and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? I thought I did pretty good stuff. And you're like, well, I guess this is all bullshit. These guys are able to string together complete, beautiful, harmonious, like it's
like we're magicians that learned tricks from a book, and they are magic.
They're magic,
and they're real wizards.
That's exactly right. we're thumbing through the book trying to keep up.
I put the ace of spades down here
underneath.
And then
It's underneath. Oh shit. All right, well, and they just click and it's there. That never ceases to amaze me. But also, many friends friends of mine that are musicians will tell us they have that weird process too, where they find it in their little ways. Some people need certain escapisms and places and locations and to get the things moving, you know?
Well, that's what I was thinking when I came back to the piano thing. There's also the thing that we both kind of have is a mathematical thing starts like you start when you're writing and it's really happening, and when they're constructing a song, and I think that's why the piano, I can write to the piano, because it is there's a metric to it.
Right.
There's something happening to it. And I'll even like when I write, and I'm like on one of those where I'm, you know, when I'm writing the books and it's like really writing a lot, I'll find myself in my closet like organizing shit, or like in the utensil, like all of a sudden I'm putting things in place, especially rewriting when you're really just kind of like a little machine and you're.
Oh yeah,
that it literally carries over into just walking through the house.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You become
musicians
you become
and us.
stepping
We both have that kind of like something's happening in your brain. Yeah.
That's when the wife comes in. Yeah, I thought at one point I wanted to make, this is such a pretentious thing, which is why I didn't do it. And you know, it's not me either, but I thought about naming an album Mise en Place, which is everything in its place. And I thought, I loved the phrase so much when I learned it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could never use it, but I think it perfectly encapsulates how comics are trying to, when we're trying to make an album, it's like we badly want everything in its place. Like you badly are like, I want it to have this wonderful rhythm. I want it perfectly slotted. This goes there, exactly there. And because when they see us, it's just like, blah, 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 hey, you know? But in our stupid minds, we're like, I need this in the thing, and it has to be like, are you a neat freak?
Yeah.
So am I. But that's a subject. I think that's partially because, and I know a lot of good comics that aren't, but mine is from my stepdad was a son of a military man. So like, you know, the phrase, why are the shoes by the door? It's like, like, why are the shoes by the door? It's like, we just came in.
Right.
We'll put them where they go.
Right. I know.
That was house mise en place. We had, everything had to be where it belonged.
Yeah, really?
A cup on the counter is like, put this in the dishwasher, please.
Yeah,
And
right, exactly.
like, why can't the cup be on the counter?
I can't go to sleep knowing that sink is filled
it's
with...
insane.
That's insane.
What do you think, I'm a murderer? That's like what Dahmer would do. I'm not. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. He made me feel. So our house is.
Yeah.
And I keep nothing in my vehicles. Like one time,
me too.
One time somebody broke into my car years and years ago, and they got nothing.
Right.
It was like, dude, you literally got, my insurance isn't in there, my registration isn't in there.
Yeah.
You'll get nothing.
You know what's interesting is that I developed it. My family was kind of messy. I mean,
Really?
not messy, but they're not
Normal.
military place. Yeah,
Right, they were
pretty
normal.
normal. And my father just kind of like a pack rat. He kind of like, his office is madness, and you know, my mother like, but as an adult and as a comic, and that I've developed that.
Oh yeah.
Thing.
I have it too. For
It
a
just
while
happened.
I thought maybe it was, what do you call it? ADD. Like I needed to have.
Obsessive compulsive.
Yeah, obsessive compulsive disorder. Yeah. And
I
think I have some of it.
I remember being in a therapy session. Someone in my family was going through something when I was a teenager, and it was like a group therapy thing. And I was watching everybody like talk about their problems, and there was a dad across from me, and his troubled son was there, and he was talking about, you know, his addiction stuff and whatever. But I just remember watching the dad. He had a styrofoam cup, and he was imprinting with his thumbnail along the edge, and he was going around. I was probably like 18. I think I came back from school. I think it was 18, and I'm watching him, and that just clear as day was, oh, he's ordering his life.
Yeah.
His life is out of control.
Yeah.
He's got this desperate situation, but he can put these marks
this
on
helps.
it. This helps.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're doing.
Oh yeah, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
When you're organizing your house and you're kind of confronting the chaos and giving yourself some kind of grounding, some kind of, I can control this.
Totally.
So it makes me feel like I'm controlling
Everything.
everything.
Or as much as I can.
Yeah.
Knowing that you don't have any control. I think you learn it, the first time I've ever learned it was like when you lose somebody you love.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I don't control shit.
Yeah.
This is all so that's probably part of the obsession of organization and meticulousness, or, you know, I think all that stuff comes from like learning that you're like, well, it's one thing I definitely can own.
Yeah.
I know how to make it clear for me to feel clear.
Yeah.
In my own little house, in my own little space or apartment or whatever.
And it makes you successful. Like you're getting shit done. You're tending to
Yeah.
your stuff. What's amazing to me is when I watch comedians who are not living like that.
No.
Their life is chaos.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and they're successful.
Some of them very.
And you
yeah.
look at them and you're like, how do they even get to the gig? How do they even get,
Yeah.
how do they even
Who gets you there?
Yeah, right.
Who gets you there? How do you get there? It's not you. Who does it
and
for
it
you?
works. It
Yeah.
totally works, but it's just I don't
Well, like,
live in
do
that.
you have, when you go on tour, do you have a tour manager?
No.
See, me neither. And I
No.
know people that they wouldn't be able to live without them.
Yeah.
And my relationship with my
Right.
team is like, please leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like my agents,
No.
if there's like a premiere and they're like, do you want us to come? I'm like, absolutely not. I don't want to go.
Right.
I want to go as fast as I can get out of it. I don't want to be there. And that's what they've learned. They're like, just let
Yeah.
him be and set it up and they go away. I don't need handlers. I don't like.
Yeah. So when you roll in to do a theater, and do you go in and do the sound check and do
And I talk to them directly.
Yeah,
I say,
I
give
do
me
the
the
same thing.
contact. I'm going to shake their hand and
Yep.
say hello to the crew and
Yeah.
do the unless it's a theater that does so many shows.
Yeah.
Where it's almost like, I don't know if I need to sound check the Wilbur. They do like 8,000 comedy shows a year.
Yeah.
But there's sometimes when I'm like, I trust them enough to know, and we've gone over the lighting and what I just my little particulars, and then
Yeah.
after that I'm like, we're good.
Yeah, and that's good.
Yeah, usually.
I enjoy it. I like getting there earlier.
Yeah, I like to hang for a minute.
Yeah.
Feel it out.
Yeah.
And then
The lighting always screws me up. I know this is a little inside, but I'm always like the sound, but the look of the lighting on the thing.
yeah.
They always come up, and I always kind of acquiesce to them and like, you're the guy.
What's been working?
Yeah. what do you think looks good?
Do you have a color? Do you pick a color?
They'll ask me about the color. Blue, I guess.
I always do a blue and a purple. Like I did in my special. That is almost
Yeah.
exactly what I love the most.
Yeah. Your set looked cool.
Thank
the
you.
The chair looked cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that was.
I want that chair.
You know what? So many people are like, "Can I have that chair?"
Yeah.
That's ownership of the Paramount Theater in
Oh, yeah?
in Denver. I was like, you guys can keep this stuff and that beautiful rug, which I kind of wanted to steal.
Yeah.
But that's also theirs.
That
now.
was all theirs?
I just gifted everything. I was like, you guys can keep this stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
As like a thank you, and then they can
Yeah.
use it again, and why
Yeah.
not? You know. But we picked that. I chose the. I wanted to kind of emulate my podcast that I've been doing, the Whiskey Ginger, and I wanted a chair and a whiskey
Yeah.
and a little baby bar, and nothing more. And I said, I just want uplights in the back, so something
great.
to give depth but not be
Yeah.
distracting.
Yeah, but it was nice to see. Like it was exactly that, because like when you went wide, you got to see that, like the chair and thing, but it wasn't like you didn't have to figure it out.
Yeah, right. You knew what it was.
It was just comforting. Yeah.
Right. Like you remember back in the day when Comedy Central did sets that were like extremely elaborate.
Yeah.
And you were like, what is going on in the background?
Yeah.
Like I don't remember
radio parts.
Right. It would be like a junkyard, a scrap yard, and you're like, is this a comedy show? I don't remember who it was, but somebody had maybe it was Schwartz and maybe it was Nick. It had an arcade, like a maybe was that Nick? I can't remember. Somebody had like a full arcade, and I was like, why would they waste that much money on the background of it? We're not looking at that.
Yeah, we had no idea.
It was
no one knew.
But Comedy Central, back in those days, the
Yeah.
Lounge Lizards days and all those, like,
Yeah.
they wanted to make these sexy, wild sets because some beautiful art genius was like, I got it.
Yeah.
But then they forget that you're like, it's all about just the idiot with the microphone.
I know.
Make it
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
But we chose it pretty deliberately, and I got to direct it, which was kind of fun. I wanted to take the challenge to like direct it and then edit every single frame of it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun to do.
Was the direction, did it give you too many tasks leading up to it?
No, I kind of like the busybody work. Like
Yeah.
I'm somebody I don't want to, some performers that we're friends with that I know that like
Yeah.
would love to sit in complete and utter silence moments before the show. I kind of I'd rather be talking to you if you and I were back there having a
Yeah.
drink and a laugh, and then they're like, okay, 5 minutes. I'm like, great. All right,
Yeah.
I'll see you in a minute. I don't like the utter stillness. It gives me too much anxiety.
Yeah.
So I like the humming. And the humming before the special, we prepped so much, hours and hours before, and I
Yeah.
went home and actually, went to the gym and stretched and did like yoga for a second to just recenter, and then
Yeah.
it was ready to go. And then
Yeah.
on the day, it wasn't. Yeah, no, it was pretty good.
That's good.
We had done so much work before.
You seem very relaxed. I mean, the biggest key to these things is making it come off as close to what the rest of your year touring was.
It's so hard, right?
And
to feel that.
Yeah, but there's nothing worse than act natural.
Act natural. Act natural. Yeah.
Yeah, but you want to create the environment where it's enough of a show, and it felt like that.
Thank you.
Like it really felt like
You have
this
the
is
same,
you at the Paramount.
You have the same rhythm. You have like the same. It's unmistakably you. Your cadence and your tone and the way that you've put together specials is very much like unmistakably you. My goal was like, I want them to be like, that's him, that's his stuff.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about totally, is like, we work pretty hard on being like, I want this is so me,
Right.
that they can link it to you.
Yeah.
And be like, oh yeah, he does that. That's kind of a stylistic choice.
Yeah.
I tried. And it was, the only bummer that I will say, and this is again inside baseball, but some people are so excited that they're too excited
In the audience.
Yeah, and they're and you're like, I love you.
Right.
Come on. We gotta. If you were leaning on that side of the boat, we're gonna tip over. Yeah. Get in the middle, please.
Yeah.
We're gonna have fun, but you can't jump up and down. Yeah.
I was saying that the other day. That like you can think about every element, what you're gonna wear, what the jokes are, where that chair is gonna go.
Right.
Everything's, as the director, every single thing.
Yeah.
The one thing you can't control is that one guy who loves you so much in the audience.
Yeah.
Who's whoa,
Dude, Tom. You're like, hey, buddy. We got to do this show.
Yeah, it's so hard.
And because I do think there is a psychological aspect. They know that there's a taping.
Yeah.
So there is another element of they're excited.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we're going to be a part of the show.
There was one woo in your thing.
Oh, that
was adorable.
Yeah, the woman that...
The sorority.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It was so perfect.
We tried to take it out, by the way.
Oh, really?
Here's what's crazy. It ended up being fun to leave it.
It was perfect.
But we went to the editors. We're going through sound.
Yeah.
And the sound guys were like, we lowered every level we could. This woman was on all of the mics. Like, we had so many mics. She got picked up on mics that were 50 feet away from her because she was so excited. So he was like, we got to leave that. I was like, that's fine.
It's perfect because you're saying a thing about, you're making a knock about a sorority in a way, and she's wooing, like, she doesn't get what you just said.
Yeah.
Which is
went
so
right over her head.
perfect,
Yeah, it was very funny.
So perfect.
Which is why I was happy it stayed, but it's when you first hear those things or see those things, you're like, God.
It's a wart.
Yeah. Yes, right, 100%.
Yeah, but it was a wart worth keeping.
Yeah, it was a wart worth keeping.
Really, I mean, it lingered with me.
Yeah. The woo was legit. Yeah, we did. The sound guy, that was very funny. He notably said that. He goes, there's a few things I want to show you. And that was one of them.
Are you snobbish about any other food things before we split?
No, but I'm very grateful to be financially at a point in my life where like I get to just like go to the places I've always like wanted to go to. If it's like it's a fancy dinner, I'm like, oh, we've always wanted to eat at that place.
Right.
And I'm as open as I've ever been. I think I'll try anything.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
So I like when somebody tells me I've got to go to this place or go to that place.
Yeah.
A buddy texted me, I'm going to be in Paris. And he was like, and it's someone that is in the culinary world. And he was like,
nice.
This is my little secret nugget. Don't tell anybody. And I was like, okay. And then he gave me kind of like a list of what I should eat.
That's so great.
So that's my little snobbish. Well, I'm not snobbish. I get excited about like just little tidbits of nooks from people that are
little
like,
knowledge.
You know where you got to go.
To like hit Paris and not know.
It's
so different from that.
Yeah. So
When are you going, by the way?
Wednesday.
Oh, really? Right?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Wow.
Wednesday.
Are you performing?
Kind of.
Oh, yeah?
Kind of. Yeah, I'm doing like a benefit thing. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I'm going to New York first because we're going to New York in May. We're going to move in May.
You're going to move?
Not permanently, but we're going to go spend a bunch of time. I'm going to shoot a thing out there. And
oh, cool.
It was a good opportunity to be like, let's just go there for a little while.
Yeah. I come from there. And
I know.
My daughter's graduating. My one is in Paris. That's why I was kind of leaning into Paris.
I'll go
she's
make sure
studying
she's doing
in Paris.
the right thing.
If you
she
could.
Is?
Yeah.
At what school is she at?
I don't want to say.
Who knows?
But
Yeah.
But she's Yeah, she's there for the whole semester.
What does she study?
So great. Liberal arts, American studies. It's
Nice.
called.
Study abroad, baby.
But immersive. Like she's only speaking French.
Ugh.
All of her. She's taking regular classes, but all in French. It's just like.
That's wild.
Oh, she's. I won't recognize her when she comes back.
I did exchange in England, and I had trouble with it, and it's English. And I was like scared about that. I was like, what if I don't understand what they say?
Yeah, it's gonna be so impressive. But when my other daughter goes to school, I was like, we could just go back to New York for 6 months at a time if we want.
not?
Why not?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why not. A black lab, a pug,
Yeah.
a cat,
Yeah.
and a lizard.
So if anybody out there is listening and wants a black lab, a pug, a cat, and a lizard, they'll be available pretty soon in the next couple of years. I know what you mean. It is. Yeah.
That is really the only thing. Like,
Yeah.
shit. What about the dogs?
What would you do? I mean,
We could bring them, I guess. I don't know.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a hard.
I don't want to bring them. I don't want to be in New York at dog
Like,
parks.
I don't really want to. I don't want to bring.
I want
them.
to be. I can't hold a leash and my cigarette and my coffee.
How could it's too much? But yeah,
You know,
what-
I wrote about in my last book. I wrote an essay. One of the essays was, it wasn't entirely about the Broome Street, but it was a big chunk of it.
what really
Yeah,
special place in my heart for sure.
about how when they added the jukebox,
Oh, that's a big deal.
it makes me so angry.
Yeah, that doesn't belong.
It does not belong.
What do you think you could do about it? Do you think you could start?
I've
kind of a
unplugged it once.
Yeah, have you really?
I unplugged it once.
That's
The other strategy is just throw your card in there and dominate it with
Dominate.
Oscar Peterson
That's
or
right.
whatever tone you think that, like, it's too all over the map.
I know.
It should just be like Sinatra, and then we're all just gonna kind of hang here.
Yep.
It shouldn't be like Van Halen from the '80s, like
Yeah.
jumping all over the rap. Like it's too.
Too much.
It's not the tone of this place.
That's
like
really
we're saying, like those special places.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you throw something that's not that place. It's like you invited a loud asshole to come sit at the end of the bar. We don't want that.
Yeah, you're like, why is that guy here? We don't really need that. That is a big. That's more important than I think places know. Is like you're setting a tone as the owner of the vibe you want.
Mm-hmm.
So when it becomes like a TGI Fridays or like a Chili's.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, but this place has so much great bones to it.
Yeah, we're beyond that.
Why is Bruno Mars playing right now? No offense to him, but it just doesn't make. Some things don't fit.
Yeah, no, Bruno belongs in that place across the street.
Yeah, he does.
So what do you guys do in your home? Do you cook?
Yeah. Oh well, I try. I'm pretty bad.
You're pretty bad?
Yeah.
Is your wife good?
She's good. Better than me for sure. I was never good. Baking, oddly enough, as hard as it is, people say, makes more sense to me because it's all measuring.
Right.
So to me, I like the idea of the restrictions because then I'm like, then even if I screwed up, at least I know what I'm doing while I'm doing it.
Right.
But cooking is such a feel thing.
Yeah.
I've never been good at that.
Right.
Good cooks that I know, people that I know that are really good. There's so much like they just understand the timing and I'm not good at that.
Right.
No, I'd rather give you money to give me the good food.
That's been a thing I've been thinking about a lot lately is I don't have to try and make everything. There's some things you should just go buy.
Sometimes, but you have the capability. You should do it. I'm the guy that has to go buy.
Right.
Like I don't have a choice. I can mishmash things together pretty well.
Yeah, mishmash is good.
We have dishes that we like will make that we love. Mm-hmm. But even though I've watched her do it for a while, I still can't do it.
Right.
It's not the same. I get it, but it tastes weird. Like
right.
It'll be a little
off.
like the plastic lid somehow got in there for 10 minutes, and so it takes a little. Like Teflon, but yeah, no, I don't. But I am a. If my business manager ever questioned my finances, one of them, it doesn't happen, but one of them would be my expenses of food.
Oh, for sure.
I spend a stupid amount of money on foods and dinners and treating friends and taking people out.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's great.
That's why it's hard for me to give up drinking. Not that I have an issue with it. I'm just saying that It's my favorite thing in the world to go have dinner and a drink with somebody.
I know.
I like it so much.
Oh my
It's
God.
like, I can't do
Yeah,
it.
the
I can't
idea.
not.
No, there's no way.
Yeah,
Life
it's
isn't
hard.
worth it.
Yep, it's true. It's true.
Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, man, and thank you for this.
Enjoy the rest of your rainy Saturday.
I will.
And let me know what you do with that.
Well, I'm gonna try your mixture. I
Okay.
take it out, then I put it in the fridge overnight. Then in the morning,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Oh, it's so good. We got it, Aaron. There you have it. The great Andrew Santino. That was a great conversation. I can't wait to hear him try and do the gentleman's breakfast. I can't believe I haven't done it recently. This is going to be so good. I'm going to stink up my kitchen and repulse my wife and children. Thank you all so much for listening. Go watch Cheeseburger. Go watch What a Day on Netflix. A big thank you, by the way, to everybody that was watching. We spoke with the people at Netflix, and a lot of people turned up for this special. I want to thank all of you for that, and thank you for listening to this podcast. And go to tompapa.com, because I'm got to be coming someplace near you on this tour as we start off this great year. Thanks for listening. See you next time.